on today's episode of The Real DJ Show.
Wait, how do we say the same thing and you say that Rich is right?
Rich said it first.
Oh, he went first!
This is because you said
that's
this
issue
is
of
purely
beating
because you
him.
said you wanted to fight me this morning
Despite
before I
you
even
being a
got here.
sellout, wow, you did say something important there because, dude, the groom's favorite song is this.
hate it.
Oh, yeah? And how come in the 18 months I've known him, in the 3 meetings we've done, and the 4 pages of requests he's given me, he did not think to consider adding that.
Exactly.
Liar!
Yeah.
Lies! New merch.
Okay.
I
Jordan,
can't
don't
wait to
fall
see how that comes out in the edit.
Wow.
Yo, it's DJ Rick Webb, and you're listening to The Real DJ Show. Not my show, but it's another show. You should go listen to it. It's pretty dope.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Again, my name is Rich Cranston, and alongside of me, a different side of the fence today, we have the one, the only, wiki mother. That was live. Beep. Johnny Roach.
We got merch on. Look, we got new merch. Sorry.
See?
I'm the merch whore.
See?
New merch.
See? Okay.
I
Jordan,
can't
don't
wait to
fall.
see how that comes out in the edit.
Wow. Here I'm telling Jordan not to fall, and I almost fall on my ass.
Welcome to the Real DJ Show. I was falling.
See, this is what 44 looks like. You fall on your
It
ass.
was Rich's birthday yesterday. He fell on his head just now. Welcome to the Real DJ Show. We got Mickey in the booth over
we
there.
got Mickey as usual. We have our fam. Jordan's on spring break.
Jordan's
from
in the
RT
house
today. Thank you for joining us.
This is gonna be a cool episode.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good because usually we do a one thing. We reach out to our brothers and sisters from around the world to tell us their story, and we're going local. We're going to the OG. We're going to the very first full-timer here at Encore Events, other than myself, Johnny Roach, to discuss the one thing.
So Mickey, give us the one thing video.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip, this wet, tell her run it up, no sleep, no rest.
Damn, I love that video.
Yeah. So think of the one thing. I mean, there's a lot of people, and we're going live here too on the Instagram. Who are people checking in? For you, what was like your origin story? Like how this all came about? Like just a quick background. We started from his wedding, initial meeting for his wedding. I knew his now wife, Chrissy Roach. She was our contact at Johanna Perrin Middle School. Used to hire us for the middle school dances. And it was like a bromance halfway through that conversation. We're talking about DJing.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is me getting engaged was like the professional. I mean, this part of my life, the origin story. Really, DJing though. I mean, look, I was in a fraternity in college, and there was a fraternity brother of mine. Hopefully, he's listening. I know he's a subscriber. Greg Cole. Hey, Greg. What's up, man? And he was a DJ, and we spent a lot of time together. Usually the one in the fraternity house that would always have the idea if we were short on money to throw a party. So I was kind of like the fledgling party promoter guy. I used to make these little red flyers on Photoshop. I was the one also that in the mid 90s knew how to use Photoshop. So I would make the little red flyers. Anytime we needed money, we'd throw a party. But Greg was the DJ, and I was mesmerized by that. And like, his CDs and a Denon, whatever. And he taught me how to listen for the downbeat in a headphone. I was hooked, tried to figure out how to monetize that. So I knew all the bar people. I mean, being in the fraternity, we knew all the bar people, the dudes that own bars or manage bars. And so I tried to figure out like how to turn this into a way to pay tuition. So I would say, hey, we'll, make your Tuesday night hot. Let me DJ. Give me half the door if I bring people. And so Greg and I had kind of had this like party promoter thing, and he taught me how to DJ, and I was hooked. Loved that. My Case Logic full of CDs, and then I did that through school. Party planned and DJ'd to help pay rent and stuff, and then hung it up when I graduated.
Well, I mean, on the outside looking in, you have like the full package, right? So you're intelligent, so you know the technology. You have a phenomenal personality. People love you. and you're really good at music. I mean, really good at music programming and having music knowledge. So you really have like a whole package. I mean, there's a lot of times when you see a DJ, they have one or two, but it's a rare to have all three. If your personality, help you out with that?
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you said that my technical knowledge is good. I mean, I never fashioned myself as being on anyone's level as far as like a really technically strong DJ. I mean, I think probably the most gains I've done in that have been the last 5 years, probably. I think what's really helped me is, one, I do love music, obviously. I mean, it's always been part of my life, thanks to my sister really got me into music. But relationship building has been my entire life. I mean, every success I've had in my life is somehow my innate ability to, build relationships. It's why people think I'm a good DJ, even when maybe I wasn't the strongest technical. I mean, to this day, I mean, it's probably more about, friendships and people, appreciating the relationship more than like, hey man, that guy's a wizard on turntables. You know what I mean? I've tried to become better and I've worked on that, try to have more of that. So I appreciate you say that, but it has been more relationship building for me is why I've been successful. I mean, really anything that I've done. And so I, try to, focus on that still being my thing. That's the one thing.
Did you ever think that, from your humble stories in college, and you worked for some big companies, big boxes. I mean, we're talking like Radio Shack back in the day. You've done a Best Buy. I mean, not like a clerk. I mean, you were the manager. And there was another large company right now that you came, and you were managing like an eastern part of the United States. And now, I mean, you run a very successful entertainment company that affects millions of people over the last, almost 20 years, 15, 20 years.
A long time.
So like, can you tell us about that? I mean, like, where are you with that? Do you ever think like you it's not like you're a DJ for a living, but you are in entertainment for a living.
I mean, look, it's this, the guidance counselor's dream thing, right? Like you're a kid and they're like, well, what's that stupid saying that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, whatever. Right, but that never actually means anything. You can't say, I mean, how many people get to go fishing for a living or whatever? Not very many. So we have fallen into this niche of we figured out how to make a career out of it, which is exciting. It is rewarding. I try to manage here the same way I ever managed bigger companies, and although this company is getting there, but again, it's. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it is relationship building. It's always been the same for me. So whether I'm managing a $40 million a year retailer, I build the team the same way. I relationship build, try to understand people, make relationships with my peers and that people that are stakeholders. You try to, identify who are stakeholders. I mean, people that affect your life and affect your business, and you build relationships with these people. You learn about them. You try to figure out how they work and how what I can do can benefit them. So there's a real tangible give and take. And I think that's the same whether it's this business or other businesses. The relationship building for me, and it has been what's made us successful.
Well, it's if you're watching this, and take note that relationship building is something that I learned from you. If you don't follow John on Facebook, he never forgets a birthday. Number one, no matter who you are. Never forgets a birthday. He's like that aunt. Now, this makes me feel all warm and cozy because I had a great childhood and I had a large Italian family. I had a lot of aunts, right? So he's like that aunt that never forgets your birthday and sends you a card. And yesterday John posts International Women's Day. It was March 8th, right? And he tagged about 90 super ass, bomb ass females. And the comments that were on that thread, unbelievable. Like who thinks of like doing that? That was awesome. And
well, I mean, those things are sincere. I mean, I don't want to say like I do those things for like some kind of purpose other than I'm being sincere about it. And I am sincere about it. But I think being cognizant of those things is important. I mean, you can genuinely feel like here are people in my life that make impact on my life. And the people that I tagged do. I mean, whether they're, business partners or their friends or whatever. But I think that successful people remember to acknowledge those things. I mean, it's not that it wasn't true or I'm doing it falsely, but I think it is important if you're going to be successful in life that you remember to acknowledge these people, because it is everything to me. I mean, it's everything. Relationships is everything to me, you know?
Oh.
So anyway.
It made a lot of people feel good, and it's selfless. You're a selfless man, and, you know.
Damn. This is your life.
No, it's Jordan. I mean, because we don't get to scratch the surface
bullshit.
for the people behind the microphone or whatever. All right, at this point in the show, we went a little bit deeper because there was reason, and we have a good person telling us about history. So what is your one thing? So you're on the show, you're on the open house, you have a lot of different DJs, and we all push each other if you don't see that. What is the one thing that John Roach has that you want to stick out?
On a performance background, I try to be diverse, I guess. I try to show a lot of the music. I mean, look, I'm not going to be the turntablist that Kendrick or Mickey is or Ray is or you, frankly. I think my thing is going to be, music knowledge and showing diversity in my programming will be the one thing. In the past, for you and I especially, we would, like in these showcases where we're showing off all of our DJs and we make them pick who they want. There was a time where you or I would get picked the most, and it was because we would do the initial presentations. What's so exciting to me now, and maybe, if my one thing is that, hey, I build these relationships and then that carries over and people pick me as their DJ because of the relationship that was built when I did their initial presentation, I think that's less so now than ever, which I'm actually excited about, that people our clients are beginning to appreciate our entire staff for what their one thing is, right? That we have a whole roster of people with amazing one things. And I am stoked that we figured out, I mean, Mickey's credit really developed our online open houses and the pandemic. I mean, thank you, pandemic, for having us figure that out. That more than ever now, we figured out a vehicle by which we can show in this podcast, and having Jordan and people like that on our podcast from our team, we've found vehicles by which we can show more people the one things of our staff. And so we get picked way less, which, I mean, is great. I mean, sometimes it's pride swallowing. Damn, someone picked somebody else instead of me. But I think that means we've done something right. Yeah. And we figured some things out. So, I'm stoked that people see my one thing, which I think, again, it's a relationship building thing and personality helps me. But I'm stoked that we figured out vehicles that we can show off all of our staff's one things.
All right. Well, you have it. How can people find you, follow you, if you want them to?
Hey, follow Encore Events. I show up like Where's Waldo on the Encore Events stuff when as appropriate. I'm terrible at my own Instagram, but my Instagram and Twitter are both. I'm old. I like Twitter still, but I'm on Instagram. It's both JR Encore. At JR Encore on everything.
I'm sure Mickey's going to throw those on the screen right there or there.
There's lots of pictures of my dog right there and stuff on Instagram. That's usually what I put.
Well, John, this was a good segment. I mean, it needed to happen, and
you guys
on behalf of the industry, you have done so much to make this industry what it is, for us DJs. And as far as this company is concerned, the growth, you've been certainly insurmountable. So thank you.
Thank you.
And
this is great. I feel great. This is like affirmation.
See, there we go. We should interview part of our team.
It's like
one thing.
It's like self-affirmation day.
So that's it. This is one thing. We'll see you at the next segment.
One thing.
Thanks, Johnny.
Let's go.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest.
All right, so welcome back from that one thing. That was a unique one, and I'm still feeling flushed from it. That was our one thing. So clickety clack, we're back.
I think I started something.
You did. The next t-shirt is going to say, instead of wiki mother, it's going to say clickety clack. All right, clickety clack, welcome back. We've got Jordan over there on the couch. We got Rich here. And we got some topics to talk about today. This one, so if that last one thing was like therapy, it's going to be more therapy now, because usually when we have a topic, I have written it already knowing how I feel about it, right? So it's almost like a presentation. I mean, we have good discussions. I think all of our topics breed good discussions. But I think this one is one that, for me, was still very like, I want to talk through it with you because I don't know how I feel about it. And it stemmed from a conversation we had yesterday with a consulting client that we were talking to. And so let's just get it out. Let's put it on the table.
Let's do it.
Right here.
Let's do it.
And so the discussion is about, okay, now that we're starting to enter a post-COVID world, thank freaking God that we are now coming out of that. Are we, or should we be moving back to more in-person things, like more in-person consultations with our client, more in-person planning meetings, more in-person, open houses and gatherings and things like that? Because we figured out in 2020 how to do all these things virtually, right? And I don't mean to sermonize here, but I am a little bit. We literally, right before the beginning of the pandemic, were giving presentations. We were being asked to give presentations at MBA and Mobile Beat and places like that. We were having seminars about the importance and the absolute critical nature of the advantage of doing consultations in an office space, in your own place where you can set up a home field advantage, like what an advantage that is. And now I sit here ready for the world to let us do that again. And I don't know, should we be doing that?
It kind of feels like the in-person whatever is the VHS.
Maybe.
Because the rest of the world is now on DVD or streaming, right?
Yeah.
It almost feels like, because you get it once in a while, you have a client like, hey, can I pop in for a meeting? Jordan
has one this week, right?
Next week, right?
Tell me, can we pin there for a second? Jordan, when you had this discussion yesterday. I saw your email thread with your client, and they're like really interested in meeting in person. Set the table for me on that conversation, that client that really wanted to meet in person?
It's not normal, specifically when our clients are out of town. So it was very surprising receiving that email the other day.
Yeah.
That my client wanted to meet in person. But it kind of makes sense. Some people are like I need to see you in person to actually get that connection. Because I might not get the same connection over Zoom. Yeah, that's nice, but the first time I'm actually going to be in front of you in person is on my wedding day. So some people are not comfortable that way, which I kind of understood in that sense that I want to meet you in person. Like I didn't meet you at a bridal show. I didn't meet you at when we used to do live open houses. I only saw you for 10 seconds on Zoom. You said something and you logged off kind of thing.
And so Rich, what's funny as we listen to her describe this, it's an outlier now, right? It's like the shock of, whoa, somebody wanted to meet in person.
Yeah.
That used to be the norm.
And I'm writing some notes and I'm struggling to kind of form my thought because you can approach this from a business angle or you can approach this from a human angle. And the human angle is the DJ in someone's event is one of those vendors that you really want to make sure that you meet in person because a lot of people feel so importantly about music and the person that delivers that experience. So they want to see them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times this past year of the 40-something weddings I did, over half of the people that I met with were over Zoom. Actually, all of them were over Zoom, but over half said to me at their wedding, it's so nice to finally meet you in person.
Totally. So let's talk about that. I think obviously there are benefits to both sides of in-person or, not meeting in person in today's world. But let's break down some numbers. And here's the reality of the business result side, which I think is going to overwhelmingly slant one direction here. But here's the business results. Now, when people would come in for an initial consultation in our office, right? The close ratio, meaning of the number of people who came in compared to the number of people who were booked, was astronomically good. If they made the commitment to come into our office, it was almost a guarantee. I mean, 90 whatever percent, 8 something crazy percent. If they came here, they would book, right? But the ratio of the lead, just a lead, right? Someone checks out your website or someone said, hey, I saw your Instagram and I want to chat about my wedding. From lead to appointment is insanely better if you do it digitally, meaning It's more convenient. We can turn it faster. I mean, if someone has to meet in person, there's an insane amount of logistics to go into that. I can only do so many appointments live because we only have so much to be able to travel there. You need time in between to reset the office and whatever. But if it's digital, if it's virtual, I can line up appointments all damn day and night. I can start doing appointments at noon and do them every half hour until 8 o'clock at night and get, an insane amount of appointments in fast, like the next day or that day.
Yeah.
Right. So the amount of business, let's just not put too fine a point on it. Our business has exploded by doing presentations virtually.
Yes.
So, I tend to believe that from a business result standpoint, everything is better virtually. But yet we can't give it up. We still are throwing our VIP party this year, which we finally can do again. We're having this big event where people can come see our DJs, which historically, I don't mean to dominate, but historically, when we moved those into that online open house format, we get way better business results, right? We close so much more business virtually than we did in person. So why are we doing it?
Well, we're doing it because of the emotion involved of what we do for a living, and that will never go away. So my final answer is you're going to need that face-to-face communication, that, hand to shoulder. It's good to see you. This is awesome, because that's the business we're in. It's the emotion. We're emotion evoking entertainers. But from a sheer business standpoint, our market depends on the normality of people. It's okay for people to Zoom. Zoom has become more than a household name. Much like when you want to search something on the internet, you don't say, I'm going to go search that. You say, I'm going to go Google that. Google me or Facebook me, right? So Zoom has become that commonplace of doing business or talking to people or whatever. So from a sheer business standpoint, especially if you're a single operator, you've got to save time as much as you can. And presentations by video is where it's at. But you got to leave yourself open for those in-person consultation as well. But for our business, you said that it exploded. It did, because not only can you increase the frequency of how many times you meet with someone, but you can double how many people can do that. Yes. I have a ridiculously ugly schedule, but I can crank out a handful of IPs, more or less on, depending on the given week. So not only are you hustling all that and working all your numbers, but now you have both of us doing it. What happens if we had a third person or a fourth person? It's just,
we could fit one in. Like to your point, you can fit one in a half hour before.
Yes.
I mean, I can be home and be a good dad now. Or before, if I was going to go and focus on some balance of life things,
right,
I would have to give up swaths of time where I could not do business. But now, with the normalcy of a digital meeting, I can fit in a meeting real quick in a half hour before then, doing some balance of life things.
So being available in person, you need to do that stuff. You need to go to bridal shows. You need to go to networking events. You need to just be available in person, because when you are in person, people are using all of their senses, and that is emotion evoking, right? So now they're making decisions based on you, based on their senses, on everything. Versus if just by video, the senses have been greatly decreased, and you're just using audio and visual. There's no kinesthetic. There's no tactile. I mean, it's right. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying here? Does that make sense?
Jordan, for people that may not do some kind of like in-person event like we've always done, our VIP parties where people, hey, come see our DJs play. Describe to the magic of those things, like how people feel, the clients feel about coming and actually partying with their DJ.
So I've only been to 2 VIPs. The one where I was supposed to be debuted was pulled from under me, literally right before COVID-19 came and ruined all of our lives. But it's the best party that you could just dance and have fun at of your life. Dre said it at the bridal show the other day. It's like a bridal show on steroids. That's what he told everybody. And I was like, interesting way to put it, but he's right. Like, you could go to a normal bridal show, and how many other DJs are there that are trying to prove their point, and trying to sell you something, where at VIP, we're not trying to sell you anything but a good time, honestly. And that's
wow, that could be the slogan for the party this year. Well, I think you're right. I mean, look, the reason why bridal shows exist, as you said, and to actually back up what Dre said about a bridal show on steroids, the reason why a bridal show exists is that there is a need beyond a brochure or a business card or something to have felt some, personal connection to these vendors, right? And if you say that like our VIP party, which is a big party we throw to have our clients see us do our thing, it is that. I mean, it's the nth degree. But I think what's become cool for us in a digital world is that we can take care of all of the sales and how fast do we get somebody in and how fast did we respond and we got to them on a sales level before somebody else did. We can take care of that digitally and then have the live experience thing, the VIP in our case, or whatever you call it, an open house, other DJ companies might do, be solely focused on that personal connection and being absorbed in the experience. So it's allowed us to focus these things on the individual need of them. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's allowed us to focus.
For those of you who are checking in who don't know what we do for VIP, in a quick synopsis here, it was a party. We use it as a sales tool. We invited past clients, current clients, and prospective clients with vendor partners, right? So it was more of a sales tool. So we needed a way, because digital wasn't a thing back then, right? And we did it for 10 years. This is our 10th year. So 9 years we used VIP. We threw a party to show everybody what we did, because in our space, we're not a baker. You can't taste the cake.
Yes.
So unless we have to play and perform in front of you. So when we invite all of these people into this space, now we're involving venues. So we're showcasing the venue, getting pictures. It was a great, multifaceted tool.
And they blew up.
And a success of our business. People look forward to it. Then COVID hits and we can't do this in-person stuff. We reverted and we discovered, a digital way of doing this. So now this is the 10th year. It's the first year we're not utilizing. We're in a meeting yesterday about it. We're not utilizing this as a sales tool. There's no book uplighting now.
At least directly.
Right. There's always an indirect, like, hey, this is why we're for Encore, because this experience is freaking awesome.
Right.
Yes, we definitely want to book these people for our wedding because I can't wait. Oh my gosh. You have current client. I have a current client couple that's coming. Oh my God, we can't wait. We're going to be at 2 weddings this year where you're going to be DJing at. We're totally coming to VIP because we want that experience that we just did for our wedding. So you get all these people in. It's the first year we're not relying on this VIP event for sales aspect.
Right.
We're just going to be like
a discount or a
no.
We're just going to show them the experience.
Yes.
So I think we need to wrap this up in a bow. And I still don't know if I've come to a conclusion, although I think the conclusion is
both.
There's no genie going back into the bottle now post-COVID when it comes to, okay, that's over, bring everybody back to the office. But at the same time, we've identified that this in-person experience at some level still needs to happen. But maybe what the technology has shown us is that we can segment these things and do the best of both at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. But if your digital game is strong, you've got to back that up in the in-person game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can't be like awesome digitally and then when you're finally in front of this person, it's a letdown or you're not delivering the goods. So
this is a good discussion.
Yeah.
It's a good one. All right.
Thanks, Jordan.
That was it.
Good input.
All right. So that was our core topic today. That was a good discussion.
That was good. That was deep.
But it is time. Everyone's favorite part of our show.
We're going to wipe Johnny up with BPM.
Oh. All right, Nookie, give me that BPM.
Roll the footage.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bag.
All right, so this is BPM. It's everyone's favorite competitive game show of DJ debates. Mickey's going to spin the golden thing over there. It's going to pull I forget what we call it.
The golden wheel of death.
Wheel.
And out of that is a question that John and I are going to debate for 60 seconds. And
hence the name, beats per minute. Jordan's going to tell us who was right.
We're going to get some feedback from Jordan, and we're going to go from there.
And she's timing it. There's really no rules. We make it up as we go along, but it's fun. All right, Mickey, spin the wheel.
All right, here's your first question. Are slow songs dead?
No, they are not dead.
Are you yelling?
Yes, I'm passionate about this. However, the frequency of which to use said slow songs has greatly depleted. You know what? It typically, like back in the day, you do like 2 slow songs per hour or so, or maybe 3 or whatever. I'll at least throw in at least one. At least one. It's got to happen. Got to get your loved ones out there. You got to feel that emotion. The aunts and the grandparents and the cousins. They all got to get out there. Give them a slow song. Johnny, what say you?
Yeah, I agree. However, I would say it's dying. It's more dead than ever. In fact, the client perception that the wedding didn't need a slow song is actually becoming like an indication they thought the wedding was good. Like, that wedding didn't even have a slow song, meaning it was so good, you didn't feel like you missed it. And I would say that I've probably done in the last year more weddings than ever where it was one or none, more than ever before. So while I'll say you're right, I would say that the better, more correct answer is that it's dying and has become not having a slow song has become the mark of the best weddings ever because it didn't need it.
I don't know. I have a rebuttal, but first we're going to go to Jordan. What say you?
I barely use slow songs, so...
That's because you're a millennial.
I usually like to kill my dance floor in terms of make people tired. That SpongeBob meme when he's just laying against coral. Like, I always say that to my clients, so I feel like if I don't need a slow song and if my clients don't request slow songs, then I don't think it's...
But what are you going to do with the older guests?
You play the oldies.
They're dancing.
They're dancing to the oldies.
Yeah, but you know what? People need potty breaks. They need to go to the bathroom. They need to refill their drinks. You're going to get lulls on the dance floor.
I think you're treading into territory here that's... I think you were more right before. I think what you're saying now is antiquated thinking. That like you have to somehow need a slow song to revitalize. I don't think you do anymore. Now, I'm not saying there's not a sentimentality moment that you need or like the appropriateness that it's a wedding, so people are going to slow dance. But I would think that the convention of it is dying, and I think eventually we will think that would have been a silly thing to do. Like
I don't know,
slow song on a wedding.
Hey, interested in hearing your feedback? Put up some comments or below.
Yeah,
I think slow songs are a necessity. I don't always use them, but at least there's 1 or 2 within a reception. There's got to be. I
don't know if there's got to be.
Yeah,
I'm not sure there's got to be. All right, good one though. Good one.
Question.
Spin that wheel, Mickey. Yeah.
Question 2, you turn your mic on to test for a ceremony with batteries from your last event in there. The battery meter reads full. You are or are not changing to fresh batteries?
This is the fastest answer ever.
This is John's question.
You are goddamn right you're changing the batteries. I don't care if they say full. Every microphone, even brand new ones, are like a 1968 Dodge. That thing can go from full to empty before you pull out your driveway. Of course, there's look, I understand the need for cost control and keeping expenses down, but there is nothing that could convince me that changing out the batteries before your ceremony starts is not the most important thing you do. Because if it fails in the middle of a ceremony, I don't care how much money you just saved, the $2 you just saved to those AA batteries or 9-volt, absolutely you're changing the batteries. Absolutely.
It's kind of funny this question came up because about an hour ago, the delivery person just brought in a big old heavy
gigantic box of batteries.
$100 worth of batteries for, I don't know, it's not going to last us the entire season because Captain Battery Pants over here.
Yeah.
There's nothing that pisses me off more than going into some mobile or some gas station and getting a $9.99 9-volt when we could have pre-planned and got batteries. So
sure,
that's me. I'm running the batteries down until I get that red light thing. Right, I'm gonna trust my technology. I'm not replacing batteries now for. I'm just. But here's the thing: there's a big difference. I don't use wireless microphones for ceremonies, so that's a difference.
It is different.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We're
changing the batteries.
We're
for those out there that are our clients. Pick me. I change the batteries. All right, good one, Mickey. All right,
that was good.
We need one more.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
We're disagreeing a lot.
I'm dominating on this one.
I don't know about that. Joe Bunn will be proud.
All right, here's your last question. Bit of a story time here. All right, you've got 12 minutes left in the wedding. Your last 4 to 5 songs are locked and loaded for a crazy finish. 2 of those songs are even client must-plays. Now, the father of the bride or the groom comes up to you excited, asking for a request that is a family tradition at weddings. The song does not fit the vibe that you intended to create. This person, you think, figures strongly into whether there will be gratuity or not. What do you do?
So, wham, wham. This is good.
Wow, that's a good story.
So, I'm going to play the song. It may not be in its entirety, but I'm still going to play it, and it has nothing to do with gratuity. But it has everything to do with that parent and those memories that are coming out of that experience for the couple. I'm going to give its due diligence. I'm going to play it for as little as possible to make sure that I did it, to give them that experience. But I can easily recover that and come out of...
You have 12 minutes. Yeah. You have 2 must-play songs against
it's quick mix it out of it.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't think it's as black and white as you're thinking. I mean, here's the challenge for me. Where were you all night with the family tradition? You waited to the last 12 minutes.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. If this song doesn't appear anywhere, like I'm assuming that by the question that the song does not appear on the client's list they've given you, like something that's important to them, and you have to balance like, hey, I want the lasting experience for the client to be magic, and I think I know that better than Dad, who's coming up and saying that country roads is a great way to finish this wedding, and it might not be. But I think your answer is that you're correct. I mean, I think what you have to keep in mind, the only different take I'll take, it's not a different take, the only other consideration I would think is we don't always know, like, what the reaction is going to be to this wacky song. It may actually end up being fire. It may, like, I don't know that if I play Country Roads for this family, that they're not going to jump up and down and go crazy and insane. So it's probably worth the risk to play it, to start it, and see if you get maybe an insane reaction, because sometimes it will surprise you that a lame song that you think is going to crush your vibe, might actually work. So
it has surprised me more often than not that it comes out fire than a dud. Yeah. And the last thing I want to happen is some father or mother or whatever bitching at the brunch the next morning,
right,
on how the DJ didn't play Country Roads or whatever. That happens at every single wedding, and now they're going to be in the ear of the client.
Jordan, who's right? Well, I guess we were both the same answer. What do you think, though?
I've worked a wedding where people have come up to me and said, "Oh, the groom's favorite song is Barbra Streisand." The groom's favorite song is by Barbra Streisand by Duck
Barbra
Sauce.
Streisand.
Really? And I've also had the ones where they don't even want me to play the song. They want Uncle Tony to sing New York, New York, because he does it at every single wedding.
Right. It's a good point. You got to be careful.
You have to, we have that policy. We can't give the mic away to just anybody at a wedding, regardless of like who says what. Like, our duty is to play the music for our client. If you have the must plays that you have to play for your client and dad comes to you or groom comes to you, I think what Rich says is probably true. Unfortunately, like,
we agreed. We said the same thing. What are we doing? We said the same thing.
You got, if he's coming up with the song, you're gonna play a part of it. I'm not gonna play the whole entire song of Wagon Wheel or Country Road.
That's what I said too. Half of it. Wait, how do we say the same thing and you say that Rich is right?
Rich said it first.
Oh, he went first.
This is because you said this issue is purely because you said you wanted to fight me this morning before I even got here.
Sellout. Wow. You did say something important there, because I guess the other thing to be nervous about is that maybe the couple was trying to dodge this from happening. You know what I mean? I guess in this case, they would have put it on a do not play list or made some kind of note like, don't like my dad like say that it's Raining Men as a family tradition. It's not. We hate it.
Well, that's why we have play before you crust it.
My planning meeting is there anyone or anything I should be aware of that's going to happen?
Sure.
Yep. Some crazy aunt that's going to come up and, bother me all night, or, if someone comes up and requests a song, are you guys cool with that? It's a good thing to put in your planning.
And the other thing that Jordan said that was smart, despite her being a sellout, was that God, don't you hate it? Don't you hate it when some random guest or like some groomsman or something says, "Oh, dude, the groom's favorite song is this."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? And how come in the 18 months I've known him, in the 3 meetings we've done, and the 4 pages of requests he's given me. He did not think to consider adding that.
Exactly.
Liar.
Yeah.
Lies.
I mean, that's why we have play if requested.
Yeah.
So
I digress. That was good.
Good stuff. Right now, the score should be Rich greater than John.
Sell out.
Happen to go first.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the
Hey, it's the Setup Wars. It's our segment of the show where some brave souls have sent in pictures of their DJ setups for our review and entertainment purposes only. And we post them for the internet just for some variety. But thank you to all of you who sent your pictures in for our review. First of all, let's play that Setup Wars video because it's dope. Go! And so Mickey's going to show up some pictures. I can't talk. I'm so tired. Mickey, the producer over there, he's going to put some pictures over here on this little screen for us to review. We're going to talk about it. We got Jordan on the couch. We got the boss man in the chair next to me. I'm John.
I'm just along for the ride, frankly, because y'all started without me when I was
You're on the phone.
messaging.
And so we're going to talk about these pictures, and then we'll go back around the circle and give it a score. And yeah, you guys in the comments below, let us know what you think about these setups as well. Mickey!
Oh, it's starting things off with some deliciousness. Pause here for a closer look.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
It looks very Vegas-y.
Well, I do see some palm trees in the background.
So it could be.
It looks very like VMA's pre-show kind of DJ setup.
Okay.
Looks like
It's very specific.
Do you like it?
Looks like a pool party
Yeah,
setup.
it does look like a pool party. I think it actually must be. I think it's a pool deck.
I like it for that. I think it's an acquired taste.
Oh, all right. So I feel some reservation. It's not your...
It's just not what we do. You've raised me, and
I love it. She's a company
you raised me this way.
She's a company woman. I
like it. Rich, what do you think about this?
I absolutely ridiculously love this setup. Of
course you do, 'cause
it is so clean. I love the highlighting lights. You've got some RCFs there. Looks like a JMac, or an 8, Evox 8 maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We got some. Everything looks great. Bravo. John hates it.
No, I don't. Of course I don't hate it. I mean, look, you should see the trash that he shows up here sometimes.
Like black. I don't like white. I don't like white.
Okay. You're not being very nice to me today. All right, look, of course, this is an amazing setup. It looks freaking fantastic. It is fantastic here. In fact, we just bought one of those same consoles because we liked it so much. That's the Pro X console. We just bought one of those.
But it's in black.
But ours is in black. Of course it is. Now, look, it's an amazing setup. You got to give it all the props in the world. It's so clean. It's so smart. Their lighting is smart. There's 2 LED washes and 2 moving heads, which is literally the perfect setup for lighting for an event. If we're going to get a little nitpicky, I mean, you'd probably get a better performance if you put the totems on the inside and the speakers on the outside. You'd probably get, less opportunity for, there to be feedback or whatever. I mean, look, but it's nitpicky. This is awesome. I would love it even more if it was in black because I think that's just a better look for me personally. I think DJs, but in fact, though, I might actually be wrong in this case because for this particular setup on this pool deck, the white is probably better.
Yeah. And
I can't believe it's coming out of my mouth, but it probably is in this particular case. So, I mean, kudos to this person. It's literally... Adam, like if I had a setup for myself, like I could just pick whatever I wanted and it didn't have to be like, it would magically show up at an event for me. It would look a lot like this in black. I mean, I think it's perfect.
What's your score?
We're going to score right away?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You have to keep this in mind, the relative trash that we normally see on this segment, right? People's speakers sit on the floor. I mean, it's a 9.5. I mean, it might be the closest to the best thing. I mean, I love it. Kudos to this DJ. It's really good. It's 9.5.
Jordan.
I second that motion that John brought up. 9.
I have yet to give away a 10. I'm kind of a hard ass when it comes to that. 8.5 for me. It is such a sick setup. Get yourself
you
a lap.
8.5 on this?
Yeah. Nine's like my 10. 9's like my 10. I mean, 10 has to be.
Okay, what's not a 9 about? I mean, what do you want them to do? No, we don't never argue about these things.
No, for sure. Well, you know what? I don't. Nothing's really ever perfect. Get yourself a laptop skin. It's an 8.5. That's a great score.
I've seen you give some trash 8.5s.
Dang.
No, but I think the icing on the cake for this is get yourself a laptop skin. You got a great thing going for your girl. I mean, that's awesome.
It's really good.
Mickey,
it's better.
Can we see where that came from?
It's bigger than Rich's 8.5. Can I hire her?
Yeah. All right, what do you got next?
Just get this person on the show. Is that Run? That's not Run Dad, is that? Who is that? I don't know who that is, but they're... Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Oh, God. All right, Jordan.
The cords are so messy.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
And you could see directly through under their table. And why are we not covering the stands? And what is this on the speaker over here? Is that a jacket on a chair? That's a jacket on a chair over there on the other side.
Damn.
Can we just get something to cover up? It looked messy. You just look sloppy. It's not cute.
At what point did you think this was a good idea to take a picture of this and say, "Hey, Mom, look what I did"?
Hey, look, Mom, I made it.
Well, I think the redeeming quality is there's an Aztec eagle on the laptop skin. I think that's pretty dope. I mean, I think it's cool looking. But
that's the redeeming quality.
I'm trying to find something, Jordan. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, first of all, everyone who knows me knows I hate like T-bar lights on a T-bar. First of all, it's not even a lighting stand. It's a speaker stand that your lights are on. It's in the front of the table. I don't know why we're doing that. There's no cable management. You got nothing over your speakers. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have been worse. The controller could be sitting literally on top of the table without being in a case, which is at least at somewhat hiding some speakers in your area. I mean,
at least the speakers match, and the speakers are pretty much the same.
They're on the same height. I mean, but lights on a speaker stand in front of you. I don't know what we're thinking. Here's so funny, and this is no comment about the gear. I mean, I think what we've discovered during setup wars is like wrong gear doesn't make your setup bad, and great gear does not make your setup good. I think this is one of those cases where some very small tweaks, cover the bottom of the speaker stands with something, borrow some linens. I mean, do something, cover that up, put the lighting tripod, it's not even a lighting tripod, put that tripod in a place that's not just sitting in front of you where people are going to trip over it or something. I mean, you could do a lot more with this with the same gear with small tweaks.
Yeah. And the big thing too, you said everything I agree with. I was rather than regurgitate it, but some venues in our area offer that, which it looks good. It's kind of swanky. That stretch fabric, it looks good, but you can't put the sub underneath it. And I know that when the lights get dim, you're not gonna be able to see that and stuff. But when it's daytime, one venue in particular, you could do that. And if you had your cords or the power block right there, you can see all that stuff. And you really need to adjust your setup accordingly.
And I think you probably would in this situation. On this particular picture, the shadow is kind of covering it a little bit. But I think in real life, if you saw this, you would see every bit of that guy's cords and stuff in front of there. So yeah. All right.
Or girl.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Jordan, give this thing a score.
4.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah, it's so weird. I was going to say 4 because I feel like there's a line in the sand but 3 and below is like just absolute.
Yeah,
the shit's on fire.
Yeah, there were some attempts made.
Yeah, he's got a case.
Got to keep working.
But I think small tweaks could take this person.
For sure.
I'm not trying to make any comment about
tweaks that don't cost you money.
Zero money.
Get the jacket and the chair out of there, bro.
Anyway, so yeah, but he took a picture of this. Like, this looks good. All right,
Maggie, what do you got?
Number 3. Ooh, what do we got? Oh, holy TVs, Batman.
Yummy.
We're going to fight on this one too?
Okay.
Looks like we're going to fight.
All right.
Get ready for fighting.
So, I don't know. This looks like we're trying to throw a Hercules-themed wedding. This looks like the pillars that the muses were on when they're singing about Hercules. That's what those look like. And I just can't. It's too many of them. And the screens. I've seen the screens. I feel like it's a club vibe, not a wedding vibe, but who's to say this is a wedding and not a corporate event and they needed TVs? I don't
put a pin in that because I have questions about that too.
Okay.
You have a question about what?
The TVs. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to put a little pin in that. Like, I'm coming back to that conversation also because I have questions about that.
Is this the whole piece of furniture that they mounted the TVs on? Because that, like, how do you lug that around?
I just want someone to tell me, and look, no disrespect, and apparently if we squint, we can tell who this DJ is. And I respect this DJ a lot, right, for their talent. But someone tell me what those 4 TVs are accomplishing that one TV is not. Okay, right, there's 4 in the same spot. Are you trying to tell me that it's for better viewing? I mean, why are there 4 TVs? Why do you need 4 TVs in the same place? I mean, if it's for people to see something, why wouldn't you spread those out? Or why do you need 4 TVs? I just don't understand the need. It's like, I don't get it. I just don't understand it. But obviously, look, it's good. It's good DJ furniture. It looks clean. I don't like white stuff, but whatever. It's clean. This is a good setup. Obviously, this is an example of, hey, this is good. Mm-hmm. And you're choosing the TVs for this couple's monogram. I think it's cool. I mean, is it literally just like, hey, look how cool our setup is. We have 4 TVs attached to it. I mean, I don't get it. Personally.
Yeah.
Like, what is it accomplishing?
The appearance of this is grand. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sparklers, 4 TVs. It's obviously a production, and this is what that DJ is going for. And so I guess, I mean, that's what you get. It's an enormous production. This pains me.
Well, I get
if I had to lug this in every single weekend, or the amount of frequency at what this DJ performs at is unbelievable. How you pull this off?
I even get 5 sparklers. That's adding to the show. Like, what is
it's
the 3rd and 4th TV adding?
It's just enormous performance. I mean, in fact, that's cheaper than doing an LCD wall, or I mean, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I've never subscribed to having TVs at my production. I just, it's a cool moment, but there's so much work that goes into it for, I don't know, the value you're getting out of it. But people love it. I mean, this
you think
this
so?
DJ.
Well, somebody does. They hire him.
It happens every single. I mean, he works a lot more than I do, and people seem to love it. So,
I guess
it's huge.
I would love to hear the rationale. I mean, look, okay, is it just a client that's into excess? Like, hey, I just want the DJ booth to be incredibly extra. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who just like, hey, that's what I'm going for. Now, look, I know this DJ is an incredible DJ, right? That person that we're talking about could put on an insane wedding from a TV tray, right? So I guess it's just literally a client's like, hey, how extra can you make your booth look?
Well, I think that's you hit it. Is the extra, the pizzazz that this person in the market works in is a lot of that stuff. It's snowflakes.
Yeah.
It's fog. It's sparklers. It's robots on stilts. It's all that stuff,
and it's measured in like how many TVs are stuck to your.
And I think
booth,
if this person came to a wedding on a smaller scale, it'd be like, what the hell's going on? Right.
Well,
so this person found a way to capitalize in their market, and I don't want to say exploit, but really use that to their advantage. Comes with a legit freaking Jay-Z concert everywhere this dude rolls.
I get
acid reflux looking at this because I just, I get tired looking at my setup.
Well, I've actually been to a wedding. This guy DJ'd, and it was this very simple on the DJ setup. Is the way I like it, minimalistic and simple. Yeah. And it wedding was
amazing
bananas.
Performance.
It was bananas. Yeah. Like I guess in the market, at some level, his business is being measured by how many TVs are stuck to his booth. I just don't get that.
But
part.
there's a variable. There's a variable to his setup.
Sure.
Right. No, but as far as the setup wars, this one right now, what are we rating this?
I'm assuming also this is like a grand ballroom that needs a lot of.
Yeah, you can tell.
Every ballroom
staircase
in New Jersey is grand or Long Island.
Okay,
this was probably mass. It was probably 400 people.
Yeah.
Based on that, then for the room scale, then it makes sense. I would give it like a 7.
7. Johnny Roach.
It's so tough. I mean, it's obviously great. I mean, it's super clean. I mean, it's not my style or what I think I would sell to somebody. But if you're measuring on the like, hey man, they asked for this, then it's challenging. I mean, it's great. It's an 8 or something that good, but it's so extra that I can only, if I was grading this of, hey, I knew that this person was just like trying to, like, this is what his setup looks like every week and trying to like show off, like, this is what needs to happen, I would give it a lower score. I know this DJ. I know how smart they are. So obviously the client asked for it, so I can't like lower their score based on that. So yeah, it's good. It's an 8.
I'm surprised that the cables are hanging from the speaker, sir. Wrap those puppies up. I'm giving it a 7 3/4. I think performing on this stage, and it really is a stage, there's a certain, I'm thinking of like our ESL days, right? With this big grand scope. It's almost like a freaking performance.
I get it, but there was always a purpose, right? So like, yeah, we're hanging a gigantic 15-foot projection screen above our head, but that had a purpose. We were trying to reach 1,500 people with a message, some branding.
But performing on something like this is, I mean, just like, it's big time.
It is.
It's luxe. It's extra.
I'm trying to figure out anyway.
Yeah. That was good.
I'm perplexed. Offered a good conversation.
That is it, man. Nice job.
Nice job. Jordan, great input.
Comments below. Always welcome your comments. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
All right, that's it for us. Another episode of The Real DJ Show is in the books. We want you along every time, so make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the little bell so you get notifications of all of our new content. We know you're DJs and have a lot to say, so jump in the comment section to join the debate. If you have content suggestions or you want your DJ company featured on The One Thing, email us at TheRealDJShow@rochesterdj.com. Lastly, if you're sick enough that you want to take the audio of this with you wherever you go, you can find the audio everywhere quality podcasts are found. All right, that's it for us. Show's over, bitches.